Saving your first $500 feels amazing, like the first deep breath after being underwater for too long. There's a sudden quiet in your mind, a sense of space. And that specific feeling of relief, that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Not because $500 isn't a fantastic achievement. It is. It's a monumental first step. But it's dangerous because this is the precise moment most people, without even realizing it, begin to undo everything they just worked for. If you've ever put some money aside, felt that surge of pride, allowed yourself to relax just a little, and then somehow, a few months later, you looked at your account and you were right back at zero, you know the feeling. This is the explanation for that heartbreaking cycle, and more importantly, how to break it for good. Here's the invisible trap. You finally hit that $500 goal. You breathe easier. You stop checking your banking app with that familiar knot of anxiety in your stomach. And deep in your subconscious, a switch flips. Your brain quietly decides, I'm okay now. I have a cushion. And that's when your spending loosens, just a fraction. It's not irresponsible. You're not buying a sports car. It's just comfortable. An extra coffee during the week. Ordering takeout instead of cooking. Small things that feel earned. Then life does what life always does. The check engine light comes on. Your phone slips from your hand and the screen shatters. A medical bill you completely forgot about shows up in the mail. And just like that, the savings account that was your badge of honor is gone. Wiped out. Then comes the thought that stings the most. The one that whispers in your ear, see, I told you, you can't save. It never, ever lasts. But that conclusion, that story you tell yourself, is wrong. You didn't fail at saving. You just misunderstood what the saving was for. Most of us operate on a broken assumption we don't even know we have. It's the idea that if I have saved money, I have succeeded. And that single belief, that quiet little thought, is what systematically destroys progress. Because at this stage, savings isn't success. Savings is protection. Your first $500 isn't extra money. It's not a reward for your hard work, and it is absolutely not permission to relax your guard. It is a buffer. It's a wall between a problem and a full-blown crisis. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you treat a protective wall like a pile of spending money, it will vanish the very first time any real pressure shows up. So here is the one rule that changes the entire game. It's simple, and you need to burn it into your memory. Savings is not success. Savings is protection. That's it. Your job right now isn't to get ahead. It's simply to stop going backward. Once you truly internalize that, everything about this process gets easier. Someone sent me a message a little while ago. For the first time in their life, they had managed to save $700. They felt that pride we talked about. They relaxed. 2 weeks later, their car needed a $400 repair. Now, the old version of them would have felt a surge of panic. They would have reached for a credit card, turning a $400 problem into a $500 problem with interest, adding another layer of stress to their life for months. But this time was different. They logged into their bank, transferred the money, and paid for the repair in cash. What surprised them wasn't that they had the money, it was how they felt afterwards. They said, for the first time in my adult life, a problem didn't turn into a crisis. That feeling, that calm in the face of chaos, that is what savings is supposed to do. So what do you do the day after you hit your $500 goal? Here's the playbook, no fluff. You do not change the habit that got you there. If you were saving $25 every payday, you keep doing that. Same trigger, same amount. The only thing that changes is the label in your mind. That $500 now has one job and one job only: to handle problems without going into debt. It's not for upgrading your phone, it's not for a weekend trip, it's not for a celebratory dinner. It is only for protection. That mental shift is the firewall. It's what prevents you from emotionally draining your own account, even if you do end up having to use the money. And let's be clear about the long game. Yes, eventually you will build a much larger emergency fund. You'll start investing, you'll save for big, exciting long-term goals. But this stage, this first $500, is not about optimization, it's about stability. Trying to optimize and get fancy too early is precisely why so many people bounce between making progress and falling back to zero. You are not behind. You're building the foundation that most people completely skip, and then they wonder why their financial house is so shaky. This next part is crucial. If an emergency happens and you use your savings, you did not fail. Let me say that again. You did not fail. You succeeded. The money did its job. The real win isn't a number sitting in an account. The real win is what didn't happen. No gut-wrenching panic, no new debt weighing you down, no shame spiral. You handled the problem. And then you begin to rebuild. Same habit, same pace. You just get back to it. And every single time you rebuild that buffer, your confidence gets stronger. You're proving to yourself that you can handle it. Something fundamental begins to change inside you at this point. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who just has to cross their fingers and hope nothing goes wrong. You start to see yourself as someone who can handle things when they inevitably do. That confidence, that shift in your identity, is worth so much more than the number in the account. $500 won't change your life overnight, but it changes how you react to your life. And how you react, well, that determines everything. Most people never build real financial stability because they mistake that first small pile of cash for the finish line. They mistake saving for success. But consistency is success. Protection is success. Not going backward is the biggest success of all. Keep the habit, let it grow slowly, and that stability will become the bedrock for everything you build from now on.
If you're realizing you're doing better than you thought, don't keep that feeling to yourself. The most powerful thing we can do is help someone else recognize the progress they're already making.